evening, good afternoon, good morning. Oh, what a tangled web we weave when first we practice to deceive. This is a quotation from the Scottish writer Sir Walter Scott. I think Mnangagwa should have it on his desk. Because ever since this issue of ED 2030 came up, he started weaving a web so complicated that many people were not sure what was going on. This cartoon depicted that point of view. As much as he wanted to extend his stay in office beyond the fixed 2 terms, he pretended that he did not. Indeed, he even gave an interview when he was in America and reinforced it when he came back to Zimbabwe, assuring everybody that he's a constitutionalist. When his term of office expires, he'll pack his bags and walk away. But the truth of the matter is, he was lying. Mnangagwa has always wanted to stay in office beyond the fixed 2-term limits. And he has shown that he was willing to do anything to get his wish. I think we can honestly say he has now reached the point of no return. He has crossed the Rubicon River. Cabinet met today and put into motion an amendment seeking to extend Mnangagwa's stay in office beyond 2028. This is the point of no return. Here is that interview after the cabinet meeting.
Cabinet received a memorandum on the constitutional amendment proposes a series of legal reforms to strengthen constitutional governance, clarify institutional rules, promote social, economic, and political stability, and also to enhance the efficiency of the state architecture. The bill forms part of Zimbabwe's legal evolution and seeks to refine and modernize certain provisions in response to government's experience, developmental imperatives, and comparative constitutional practice. The primary objectives of the bill continuity to allow national development programs functions, to align Zimbabwe's constitutional framework with contemporary African constitutional models that have demonstrated resilience, legitimacy, and effectiveness, and to promote long-term national stability, inclusivity, and public confidence in constitutional institutions. In detail, the bill of the Constitution, it specifies that a candidate must secure a majority of votes. And
well, one of the aspects that I'm going to focus on in this program is the issue of scrapping Section 92 of the present Constitution. This particular section proposes that the president should be elected by all Zimbabweans. The amendment bill is seeking to change that. What it is proposing is that the president should be elected by members of parliament and the Senate. The significance of this is important. At the present moment, Mnangagwa is already in his second year, in his second term, 5-year term. Now, if this section is repealed, it means Parliament will sit and then elect him as president. The timing is important. He was sworn in, I think, in August 2023. And so he has not served, as long as this bill is passed and is still not in office in August to make it 3 years, then you would not have considered to have served 2 full terms. So he's being elected by Parliament will tantamount to him extending, not being considered to be serving a second term or third term. The other important aspect here, which is important to him, is that Parliament will also redefine the term limits of the president. Instead of it being 5 years, which is what is in the present Constitution, what the people can say, we as the ordinary people who elected you in 2023, we elected you for a 5-year term limit. But now, because it is no longer elected by the people, it is Parliament that elect him. They can now define the term limit. And so this has been the bolt hole that is now trying to use so that he can get to stay in office beyond his term limit of 2028. That, I think they've seriously considered as an OPF. And there have been rumors that the regime has been trying to bribe the members of parliament and the senators to make sure that goes through parliament smoothly. Some sources have said members of parliament and senators have been bribed with stands and money to build houses on those stands and so forth. There is no doubt that ZANU-PF, one of his strategies is to bribe people. So that is quite possible. And it is likely that Parliament and the Senate will pass it. But what he has also learned, or what the regime has also learned, is that it will be much easier for him, for Mnangagwa, to get what he wants if he was to reciprocate. Members of Parliament and Senate are scrapping that section of the Constitution, and they will appoint him, and they will extend his term of office to 7-year terms. It is not clear here, the amendment does not say, and they don't have to say it. But strictly speaking, if he has not served, if he has served less than 3 years, it's not considered to be a full term. So his second term, what he has served so far, may be scrubbed altogether. And if they extend his stay in office by 7 years, it could well mean beyond 2030. Strictly speaking, you could say beyond 2030, because they can elect him for the remaining 2 years to the elections in 2030. And when they say they are going to extend it by 7 years, it's not clear yet whether they are extending the present terms of Parliament to 2030, an additional 2 years, or whether that will be defined as whatever they've served is forgotten. From now on, is 7-year term. It's not very clear there. The amendment does not clarify that. But that is, again, something that Parliament can easily interpret that amendment to mean. But the most important thing here is that this is getting even more complex now. It is no longer a straightforward Mnangagwa being allowed to stay in office another 2 years. It's now more complicated. He has to do the same thing to the members of Parliament. As much as some people have argued that the first option of Parliament voting to redefine the term of office of the president from 5 years to 7 years could be done without a referendum, I think it is becoming clear that Mnangagwa cannot do the same thing to the members of Parliament. Because it is not Mnangagwa who elected the members of Parliament. The members of Parliament were elected by the people. And it is not within his power to say to the people, I'm extending the term of office of the people who elected you, whom you elected. You cannot do that. The interesting thing here is that Mnangagwa, with tabling of this amendment proposal, he really has committed himself to seeing this through. And yet it has become such a tangled web that he himself must be doubting how he can possibly get away with it. The argument that we are aligning ourselves with other constitutions in other countries that have produced stability, etc., that is just nonsense. Yes, in South Africa, the president is elected by parliament. South Africa is stable, true enough. But also there are other countries in Africa in which the president is elected by the people, and they are stable. Countries like Ghana, for instance, if I'm not mistaken, the president is elected on a popular vote. So it is ridiculous that we keep changing our constitution to suit the individual. Mnangagwa, this amendment has nothing to do with making sure that Zimbabwe is stable. It is everything to do with him trying to secure another 2 years for himself to start with, beyond the 2028 two-term limit. I think the people of Zimbabwe have got a good chance of resisting this one, particularly extending the parliamentary elections beyond 2028. You cannot, as an elected official, who were elected on the basis that you will serve a maximum of 5 years, go ahead and decide you want to extend it. You have to go back to the people. If they wish to extend your stay in office, they'll vote for you. This is just a cunning way of subverting the people's right to a meaningful say in the governance of the country. That is the bottom line. If he had a chance of pushing through the amendment to get him to stay for another 2 years, I think that chance has become even impossible now to try to extend it to members of parliament. Scrapping Section 92 and giving the right to vote for the president to the members of parliament, he can push it through. He may be able to push it through. But to say to the members of parliament, they can extend their own stay in office beyond 5 years, I think is pushing his luck. President Mnangagwa is now caught in the tangled web that he has tried to weave. Think about it. Thank you very much. Have a good evening.